This is a Fox News alert this morning on a Monday. The U.S. launching a drone strike in northern Iraq, killing 5 Iranian proxy fighters. This is the 5th time the U.S. has carried out retaliatory strikes in Iraq and Syria over the past month.
Meanwhile, in the Gaza Strip, the IDF advances deeper into the region, taking out at least 200 Hamas targets overnight.
Trey Yingst is live in southern Israel with the latest. So, Trey, the ceasefire is over. What's the latest on the ground?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The ceasefire is indeed over. Just a few moments ago, we saw 2 rockets intercepted just next to this position along the Gaza border. It's day 59 of the war between Israel and Hamas, and the Israelis are increasing their strikes against the Gaza Strip. They say overnight 200 different targets were hit inside Gaza, bringing the total number to more than 10,000 since this war began on October 7th. Now, the heavy air campaign is spiking the death toll in Gaza. Authorities at the Hamas-controlled health ministry say more than 700 people were killed in a 24-hour period over the weekend. Israel still going after Hamas leadership, killing the commander of the Shati battalion in an airstrike on Sunday. Also over the weekend, they killed Wissam Farhat, the commander of Hamas's Sajaiya battalion. Farhat was responsible for the deaths of 7 soldiers during the 2014 war, and he actually participated in the planning of the October 7th massacre. Israel is also expanding their ground operations, starting to target positions near Gaza's southern city of Khan Yunis. The developments on the ground do come as regional threats continue to expand. Yesterday, 3 commercial vessels in the Red Sea were attacked by Iran-backed Houthi rebels from Yemen. The USS Carney shot down 3 drones that were in its area, highlighting the role that American forces in the region are playing. Now, back in October, the same guided missile destroyer shot down a salvo of missiles and drones that were headed toward Israel. It's not just the southern front that remains active, also activity on the northern front today as Hezbollah renews attacks into northern Israel. Guys?
Hey, so Trey, it sounds like the IDF hit 200 targets overnight. Apparently they found, and you would know more about this than we are because we're over here, apparently they found tunnels and weapons in a school, and one of the tunnels was booby-trapped, and that just goes to everything the Israelis have said. You know, they put bad stuff in good places.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it wasn't so hazy today, I'd actually show you the area where they found that tunnel shaft. It's in the Bet Hanun neighborhood just behind me, across the border in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. And 58 days into the conflict, Hamas was still firing rockets from this neighborhood. And so it gives you a sense of the infrastructure that they created over the past several years in these densely populated areas. We saw it for ourselves when we went into Gaza with the Israeli military. Many of the weapons are being stored in schools. They're being stored in these civilian areas, and it's creating a very challenging situation for the Israelis. And look, they are targeting not just the northern part of Gaza now, but also the second largest city of Khan Yunis. And I've been talking with a Palestinian doctor in the southern city of Rafah, and he says there's airstrikes all around that area. So this is a concerted effort by the Israelis to put more pressure on Hamas, try to get those additional hostages released, but also destroy as many of those weapons storage facilities as possible.
Yeah, Trey, the city of Khan Yunis is the second largest city in that area, and they've told the Palestinians there to leave and to evacuate if they can. I know that Israel and Hamas has failed to come up with some sort of a deal. That's why the fighting has continued, no more ceasefire, to free all of the women hostages. What's the latest on the hostages? Because they're saying that they have found 800 tunnels in Gaza, 500 have been destroyed or sealed. Have they found any hostages?
So they haven't found any hostages. They have recovered a couple bodies of those that were taken into Gaza, and that's changed the numbers slightly. But over the weekend, there were efforts in Doha, Qatar, to get the ceasefire back together after it expired, after a violation by Hamas firing rockets into Israel on Friday morning. We understand there was an Israeli Mossad team in Doha, and regional sources told me over the weekend that the Israelis actually returned home. They wanted to send a message in all of this that the conversations were not headed in a positive direction. So both the Israeli prime minister and the director of the Mossad pulled the team back here to Israel, though those regional sources say the negotiations continue. They want to see if they can get more hostages out through diplomatic channels, understanding that the more than 100 people still being held inside Gaza may not be recovered through the means and the efforts of Israeli forces that are operating on the ground.
Yeah, Trey, as predicted, the international pressure against Israel is ramping up. I just wonder in Gaza, since Hamas continues to use its own people as shields, is there more pressure, and I know there's been a little bit of reporting on it, to get rid of Hamas, to take back authority of the Gazan area?
There's a lot of pressure on Hamas, and people are becoming increasingly vocal about their frustration of how this conflict began. And look, Israel is walking a tightrope here in terms of American and Western support for their efforts to find the hostages and destroy Hamas leadership, while also balancing the pressure and criticism, rightly so, that they are receiving for the rising civilian death toll. We cannot independently confirm the numbers that we're receiving from Gaza because they're coming from the Hamas-controlled health ministry. Right. But we know for a fact that thousands of civilians are dying. And the images from inside Gaza are devastating. Children that are trapped under rubble, civilians that are being killed in these strikes as the Israelis go after Hamas leadership. And as the days go on and this war increases with both air and ground campaigns against Gaza, that pressure on the Israeli government and military will also increase.
And Trey, to your point, there's also a lot of pressure on the Israeli government from the people of Israel, because I was reading this morning that apparently the hostage families, they know that the ceasefire is over. Israel has withdrawn the negotiators, and for the most part, the ground offensive, as you've been detailing, is on. The families of the hostages still stuck in Gaza somewhere. They want to meet with the War Council because they want to be reassured that the government of Israel will stop at nothing to bring them back, because they're afraid their people are going to get killed in the crossfire.
Absolutely. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has faced a lot of criticism from the families of hostages. Today, in Israeli media, the focus is on the families of the soldiers that are being held inside Gaza. They're putting pressure, and they are calling for the Prime Minister to meet with them. And so far, other top officials from the war cabinet and from the government have agreed to meet with these families, but the Prime Minister himself has not. We understand that has changed, and that later today or tomorrow, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with the families of those soldiers that are being held inside Gaza. But there is pressure, and we even saw over the weekend in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, families of those who were released speaking out, calling for every single hostage to be brought home. They want to do whatever it takes, whether it's increasing the diplomacy, whether it's increasing the ground operation. They want to get these hostages home. And it's not just those individuals. It's this entire country of 9 million people. You see the yellow ribbons. You see the calls on social media. People want to do whatever it takes to get their loved ones home.
Yeah. Trey, thank you so much. Sure. We've talked a lot about the attacks on our military operations or bases in Iraq and in Syria. The Iranian proxies have attacked our U.S. forces dozens of times over the last few weeks since October 7th.
Just poking us.
Exactly. And so Bill Hemmer was the moderator at the Reagan National Defense Forum on Saturday, and he interviewed Leon Panetta, who served as the CIA director and defense secretary under Barack Obama. And he supports a more aggressive response to those attacks on the U.S. forces in the Middle East. Listen.
I would be much more aggressive about going after those that attack our U.S. forces.
Do you think to date that our response has been too soft?
I think it's been a little bit too selective. I mean, we hit some ammo dumps, we hit some other targets. I want to go after those who are firing missiles at our troops and make sure they understand that when they fire a missile, they're going to die.
I mean, it's such a good point. And our response right now goes against everything those men and women that are on the ground stand up for. If you talk to any infantrymen, if you talk to any operator and special operators, they say the reason why we agree to go overseas and fight these battles is so the battle is not brought home.
Right.
And they're being attacked. They're getting TBI after TBI. There's only a matter of time before one of them loses their life because of these attacks. And we're doing absolutely nothing but striking weapon depots. And that really doesn't deter our enemies. And if you're of the philosophy of the former administration that went after Qasem Soleimani, went after people and killed them and said, look, knock it off. Not just knock it off, but we're going to take your guys out so you understand what our red line is. No one knows what the administration's red line is.
Well, it was easier during the Trump years because they designated the Houthi rebels. They're the ones who are popping off all the shots at us. The Trump administration, said they are terrorists.
Right.
And that was the red line. What does this administration do? They come in, they start trying to normalize relations with Iran. Next thing you know, Houthi rebels off the terrorist list. If they were on the list, this would be easy.